We're doing like a nighttime reading this time, and it's not that late here where I am. It's like 7 o'clock Eastern time, depending on whether or not you're a time traveler when they set the clocks around. Anyways, welcome back um, to the Flower Maker reading series, and we've already finished the Flower Maker Part 1, so that part is done. Go back into the playlist and watch that. Get caught up if you need to. We're on to the Flower Maker Part 2, and we're starting a new reading series, and I'm going to get right into it. I'm not going to spend too much time um, getting into things, and I'm not going to get anybody caught up. You gotta read the audiobook or listen to the audiobook, whatever they say. Anyways, The Flower Maker Part 2 by Brent Noury. Chapter 1. Did I call chapter 1 there? Let me get to it. I'm sorry. Sorry for the hesitation. The Steeple in the Sky. Chapter 1 of The Flower Maker Part 2. The fractals of all the senses came back together. He was still buzzing around, looking at his beekeeper. Would he meet the same end in a room surrounded by mystical flowers of your dreams? How far was the art show now? What was time in a place like this? Could he begin again the old thing of gathering by day and sleeping soundly at night? Was such a thing even possible anymore? Yes, he would say, the signs were everywhere of that better place of understanding and goodwill. An entire year of Christmas morning, the ballerina always in lift, the violins at their highest notes, reaching for more because McCartney says so, just the right gusty autumn breeze to help you remember things. Sonnets from angels' lips in the gleaming lights and reflections, mirrors of other worlds and other lands, cross paths with an eye's blink. He was nearing the intersection where the bridge stretched across the river to the west side, his father's side of town, where he'd lived those 3 years between 10 to 12, and also had lived with R.A. those first couple of years. The bridge pointed to the church steeple on the horizon hill, the place he'd been baptized, and the place he thought still housed the best artwork in town, dressed on its ceilings, high up like it should be. He thought even Michelangelo would be proud of such a place. The steeple was visible from all across the city, and the sun would set behind it. His sister Jade had lived in a lovely old apartment just in front of the church, towards the bridge, and they had watched fireworks shot off from the bridge on Jade's porch the year Ava was to be born. His father was still alive then. He couldn't remember, but he thought, yes, his father might have been there that night too. Nowadays, the fireworks would appear on Old Orchard Beach with his niece and mother during their annual vacation. He had taken a photo of Ava Margot in mid a la second, a la, excuse me. He had taken a photo of Ava Margot in mid a la seconde pirouette, with the neon glowing amusement park behind her, dancing on the nighttime beach, with the explosions of color filling the sky. He thought the photo captured everything needed to be said in life, and so he had incorporated it into his latest film project, a Lynchian dream of sorts. The steeple towered into the sky, always drawing the artist's eye. He thought of how someday a person with enough wealth will work their way to writing their own worth onto the full moon, a constant reminder. And what would Inanna do? Would we be stuck to all look at the creation of a fool? Would we have to bow our heads from the nasty sight of what we've done? Can we even blame the animal set loose? We knew where he was from. The sickening things again seeping into my beauty, my flower growing. What a thrill, he thought, to be on to something again, sculpting a flower to surprise the beekeeper, and playing chess with himself as an angel of death. He thought of himself painted as a clown from a black and white Bergman film. Yes, he could play both parts, the creator and the man inside, both consumed by monsters in their respective worlds. There could be worlds of uppy uppy and worlds of walking into ponds with stones in pockets, and they could all happen in the same day. And the voices of tyrants of our time could be silenced in the hush of good work. To keep paddling oneself forward when the mind, excuse me, to keep paddling oneself forward when the mud season of monsoons arrive. You felt the winds. You've gone around that thing enough times to sense the patterns, and the shapes fit as usual. Phonies. He had immediately empathized with that character when he read the book, the last week of his placement, 3 days before the towers and the main office TV nightmare. His friends had gone to war, but he had seen at least a couple of movies on Vietnam, multiple viewings of Lawrence of Arabia, though maybe Shivago was still his favorite lean film. Julie Christie was a goddess, after all, and perhaps quite a bit prettier than Peter O'Toole, though some cinephiles might argue. His friends that survived Iraq were still dealing with the fallout. He had lost a close friend then, in a Humvee on a road near Baghdad. A roadside bomb was what they said. He was only 18. George had joined the Marines too. He was gung ho. He and Adam were good friends. George became an air traffic controller and a writer himself years after the war. He had written something so good recently about his time in the war and of Adam, and of keeping time of sorts in his running. It was a certain mark he was trying to reach, and it reminded him of old times. The artist had thought better not to write about such things after George had done it so well. He even thought George should distill an entire novel of such musings. The last thing the artist remembered about Adam was playing paintball with their friend Steve out in the woods. Adam had been hit twice, as well as the artist, as Steve was very much into weaponry and would be years later. Steve was a wake up at 3 a.m. with his hair on fire for business type of guy, and his controlling nature would both build him luxuries and hand him difficult relationships along the way. Though he may be at the show tonight. On the ride after the paintball game, he remembered Adam's final words, and they were forever haunting. I got killed twice tonight. I could get killed over there. I could die. They never saw Adam again. End of chapter 1. Thank you all for tuning in. We got someone who wants to be a ninja. Meander. What's up going on? Nicholas, hey, what's going on? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Who else we got? From the beginning, Caden. Hey, what's up, Caden? Thanks for tuning in. Dorson. What's up? We're doing dark version tonight because it's night and I'm just reading it like out of the light from under here. And this is the first chapter of part 2 of The Flower Maker. If you want to catch up on The Flower Maker, I have a whole reading series on it. It's called The Flower Maker audiobook playlist on my channel, Blurred Lens Pictures. And again, I'm Brent Noury, and we're doing a reading series of this novel, which has multiple parts now in it. So, from Brazil, Nicholas, cool, man. Cool. America here, man. New England. New Hampshire, actually. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Everyone, I appreciate you getting in the chat. Again, if you like and subscribe, I'll be back with more of this reading series coming up. And you'll see me popping on here live, and I'll do another reading series of, the new part of The Flower Maker, which we've been doing for the last month or so. Thanks, y'all. We'll see you next time. Thank you all, everyone in the chat, for tuning in. Appreciate you. No Portuguese, my friend. I wish. I'll work on it. I will work on it. Have a great night. Thank you.